It's time to celebrate the Cubs' 14-1 win on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. It was all about that sixth inning. You get a hit, you get a hit, you get a hit. Everyone gets a hit. It was 8 hits, 8 runs. It got the party started. They would finish with 14, your final 14-1, a big win in Miami. Much needed after yesterday's heartbreaker, but we are not even remembering that now because that's what hits and runs will do for you. Welcome on into our Marquee Sports Network studios. It's Elise Menaker, Ryan Sweeney. It was the over.
Yes, it was.
14-1. All good, though, because this is what the Cubs offense can do. They caught on fire. They feed off of each other. Worked out today.
Well, like JD said, it was a pitching duel until it wasn't. 8 runs, 8 hits. I mean, that 6th inning was unbelievable. And it, like I said last night, with it escalating quickly in the 9th inning, it escalated quickly in the 6th inning. It was like next guy up. Well, hey, I did call in the 6th, though, that Dansby Swanson was going to continue his 20-game on-base streak and get a knock. He did. PCA. It was just one guy after another. Like you said, it was just, and it wasn't the home run ball. It was single, 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 walk, single. But nice slide right here by Dansby.
Doubling a home run, but other than that, yeah.
Exactly. It's just one after another. Nice to see Shaw get another multi-hit game since he's come back to the big leagues. 2 knocks yesterday, 2 knocks again today. And then Seiya almost took the pitcher's head off in the second inning, I think it was. And then hit a homer dead center right there. Nice.
Cool walk.
Hitting.
Inside the 6th inning. All right, so 8 hits, 2 extra base hits, 5 for 6 with runners in scoring position. I mean, that'll do the trick. They had 40 pitches in that inning, 12 batters. So they batted around and then some. Let's talk to one of the heroes of the game. I mean, heroes, everyone. Kyle Tucker with Taylor McGregor.
Thanks, Elise. Kyle, when you're right at the plate, what are you feeling?
I feel a little bit better. I started to feel a little bit better probably my second at bat yesterday, just to get a feeling in the box that I felt like I could work with. I've been kind of searching for that for a little bit, but I just feel like I've stayed better through the ball and directional and everything the last 5 to 8 at bats or so. So I feel like that's something I could work with and build off of.
So your second at bat yesterday, is there a pitch or something that allows you to feel more like yourself?
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily a pitch or something. It's more just a feeling in the box in terms of whether it's your stance or hands position or hips or just your direction that you're trying to go with the ball with the intent. And I've been kind of had like a numbness feeling for a little bit while, just trying to search for that. But I felt a lot better recently and just trying to build off that.
DHing here today, I saw you spent time with a lot of different guys, but Quentin Berry, what are the nature of those conversations in the dugout and game?
I mean, most of the time we're just messing around, hanging out, and having a good time. And then, we'll talk about certain scenarios in the game that might pop up or what happened. But for the most part, we're just having fun, hanging out.
We love fun. Thanks, Kyle. Elise?
Taylor, thanks so much. So we're saying, I want you to put the word out there that we back up. Cole, please translate. Help. Someone help. The Wire? Don't know. The Wire.
You only have cable.
I guess it's one of the most famous TV shows of all time.
You don't stream shows. It's okay.
No big deal. You want to talk about Bravo shows? Anyways, let's talk about Kyle Tucker because, I mean, against lefties, righties, doesn't even matter. But if you're wondering the damage he does do against lefties, a 1034 OPS, a 649 slug.
Yeah, I mean, he had been struggling a little bit, but he limits his damage when he's out there and he goes out there and doesn't. Kyle Tucker, you take a look from his first at-bat today. It started from at-bat 1, Weathers. He is not easy to hit off of. He spit on some good pitches in, then he gets a fastball, just misses it, 98 in, and then 98 away. This is a good at-bat right here. Boom, homer, out over the plate, 98 miles an hour. Fastball away and takes it to the right field. What I meant to say is he limits his slug when he goes out there, and he's not
limits the slumps. He does not
slumps.
Yeah, he doesn't struggle for long when he is struggling.
And then his next at bats, it was just single after another. He had his breaking ball here. He stays back. He keeps the bat to the zone. He said he felt like he just was staying through the ball and working through it. And then in his last at bat, 2 at bats in the 6th inning where he both had 2 singles, and then this was his last at bat. Ended up walking, just spitting on a lot of good pitches, left on left, not going outside of the strike zone. He had 3 knocks today. kept fighting it off, and then spit on this changeup in, which was unusual going left on left.
Yeah.
So nice night by Kyle Tucker. I think he could really focus on hitting tonight because he was just DHing, so it wasn't like he had to take that out into the field. So, yeah, I think he just kind of focused on hitting tonight, and it really showed up in the box score.
And who knows, maybe that was part of, you know, some of the reasoning as to why he was DHing, just to give him, like, that breather, if you will, so he could just focus on that. The process has been there for Kyle Tucker. It's just the results haven't been the last 23 games. He was hitting 186. When you talk about exit velo, hard hit rate, chase, whip, all of that, it was still in line with when he is at the top of his game. It's just so impressive because, you know, you could even hear it in the interview. He's not, we know, he does not go up and down. I respect it about it. I love it. It's like one of my favorite parts of his game because I feel like when you can be as good as him, you want to be up, but he doesn't do it.
He doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low, and it doesn't matter whether it's a righty or a lefty. He hits his pitch. He stays within the strike zone. And I think what makes a good hitter is when you're going good like he was today and you get 3 knocks, you want to keep building off that, right? I want to keep hitting. But then you saw in his last at-bat, he didn't extend outside of the strike zone, and he took his walk. And then in the last inning, he ends up, you know, not getting at bat. He gets pinch hit for because the score was 14-1. But I'm just saying, like, he doesn't extend outside the strike zone, and he's a professional. I mean, basically, bottom line.
Yeah, he never presses, and he just takes what the pitcher gives him. Matt Shaw, he's looked really good. Couple games since coming back up. So he's got 4 hits in 2 games. And I think overall, I mean, you have a couple extra base hits in there too. And so you're getting to see who he can be.
It's driving the ball the other way. I think you saw this one was up the middle, but in his first at-bat, even the ones where it's like he hits that little dribbler out, that's giving him confidence where he's still getting a knock. But he has 2 doubles the other way. You see, this is the one that I'm talking about in the first couple innings there where he beats it out, but then he shoots one the other way. This pitch is off the outside corner, far, double, going down the right field line. So he just keeps building that confidence. Look, that's what you want out of your 9-hole hitter. Get a couple knocks every single night. That batting average is going to keep creeping up.
You know, Cole is off today. Cole, what are you doing? He's tweeting at us. Matt Shaw since being back with the big club.
Love it.
He's got swag. He's rolling. Craig Counsell, what do you have to say about it?
You know, at a time when we really needed, pitching just like that, and then the offense supporting the pitching, we got it. So, like I said before the game, we're a little tight in the bullpen, and guys have been working hard. So, and the guy that needed to pitch, we got some innings for. So, credit to J-Mo for giving us 7 strong innings, and credit to the offense for creating some lead, a big lead, and having a great night.
How much of J-Mo's success tonight do you feel like was the pitch sequencing and working in the changeup more? It seemed like he talked about wanting to be less predictable.
Yeah, I think he mixed things up a little bit tonight for sure, and I think facing a team for the second time consecutively requires you to do that. But he pitched real well, and he took kind of what he learned from the last start and applied it here and did really good with it.
Offensively, what stood out to you the most in the 6th?
Well, I thought we got a great bat to lead off the inning from Seiya. That's always the first hitter having a great at bat, and I thought Seiya just drawing a walk and getting to 2 strikes and battling and laying off some pitches was a big moment. And then we just kept the line moving. It wasn't any huge hit. It was just keeping the line moving, really. So just credit to the guys for doing that.
All the starters with at least 1 hit tonight in this 14-1 win. We'll show you how it went down in highlights next, coming up on Cubs Post Game Live.